go!
Another
Let's
chess match.
go! I'm so excited.
Another game of chess about to commence. It's the World Championship. Fabiano Caruana versus Magnus Carlsen in the arena, and it looks like we're going to see the Spanish opening. This, I'm sorry, that is a fortune. That is a clean cut fortune.
That is, yeah. I'm planting my feet firm in this area. If I'm our killer today. Holy Lord, that is feral. This should not be a thing. Holy dooly.
Do you? Okay, so there's a 4th gen. We haven't seen survivors. Okay, they're halfway done on this gen. We see scratch marks over on the other gen as well. They could bang out one of these 4 gens to make it a 3 gen because we didn't see corrupt.
You would definitely hope that it would be kind of split, and they have done some pressure over here. But otherwise, if they have got this one started, but I mean that one behind main building needs to be done. If they want to make this game a whole lot easier on themselves, they need to get that one behind main done. Otherwise, this is going to be almost an impossible feat. I'm just saying it. It's going to be impossible.
This is. But yeah, look at that 3 gen. That is the tightest 3 gen I've seen.
It's a stone's throw away from each other. Like they got to split this. But unfortunately, like our Skull Merchants just jumped straight over there and just gotten straight on it. And you guys are going to be in for just settle in, settle in. Yep, they know. They're giving us nodders. They know they're not going anywhere. They got no reason to. I've got so many words I want to say right now. I've got feelings and emotions.
There with you.
Anyway, let's see how this highly sought out competitive match plays out, because who knows, maybe our teams will surprise us and we can see something come through a bit surprising. I'm really fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But
we did see some crazy play last game. They had a really good shot. They are going to finish it on the other side, but considering they couldn't pump these out and they are, watching them regress very slowly. What are they doing?
They're going to put a drone right down the bottom, so it's a lot harder. Yeah. This is a tactic that a lot of Skull Merchants do. If there's ever a gen that's close to basement, they'll simply just put one down, so it's a lot harder to disarm it. And if you do disarm it, there's the risk, obviously, of being put on by the exposed status effect. So, yeah, I'm so thrilled. Let's go! But regardless, we got to see some amazing Australian talent on display here, which is nice to see. So, I mean...
True, it is LAGr on the Survivor Squad. And we saw them in the last Community Cups for the South Pacific Asian Finals, too.
They did great. They did absolutely fantastic last time. They really did. Just their ability. And that's why I'm expecting some surprising plays here, because I know this team have got some really, really good players, and I'm expecting some huge plays coming in. Glory breaking off with a sprint burst, which is good to see. But regarding these gens, we're not going to see any pressure here. We're not going to see it. No one's exposed on the furthest one. It's active. So, I mean, we'd get some killer instinct. We'd get some information. But unfortunately, I think our team's just going to be trying to, chip away at these gens, which is... this is highly competitive gameplay. It's going to be highly competitive. And I'm trying to put words together. But regarding this is your Community Cup Finals. Fire up, fellas. Fire up. Let's go. I'm so excited, dude. So if you guys didn't know, the Skull Merchant's brain is much larger than all 4 survivors' brains put together. So...
But what about if when you can use it for body size? Is it larger compared to body size, or is it larger just overall?
You ever seen the movie Megamind?
I have. That was an amazing movie.
Yeah. Every Skull Merchant player is in fact Megamind.
No shot, really?
Also, we had a disarmed drone over here. We see this is gone.
And so what I think is going to happen here is I think the 11 o'clock position gen is the giveaway. I think that is the gen that is easiest.
The 11 o'clock gen?
Yeah.
You're talking in times that I don't understand.
Main building is 12. Shack is 6. Over here, this is 11, right here. I think this gen is the most far away that can be worked on. But that drone
then
has
again, you're forcing yourself into a very bad position if you do this one. Like a very bad spot. But it kind of comes down to what do you do? The RNG of Dead by Daylight is so this is what I'm saying. These gens are way worse than what we had in our last couple of games. Like this gen spawn is this is every survivor's biggest fear right now. A huge mind game by our Jake, was it? I think it was Jake. Yeah, Jake. But regarding this sort of spawn, it's just so unlucky, and to have a design killer this way, it can be so tedious for a survivor to see this sort of setup. And that's what the RNG does from DBD. It can either do you a lot of favors, or it can give you this. And this is something that every single player should fear regarding you know, their public games, competitive games, and a killer that's designed this way is just going to make this a very different sort of play style. So I'm keen to see how these guys adjust and realize how bad these gens are, because they've already called it out. They're clearing out this drone on this far side. They got people doubling up on it, which is smart. But again, doing that corner gen is going to force the middle gen and that far side gen to be closer together. So like, no matter what these survivors do here, they're either going to put themselves in a bad position regarding anything that they do, unless they can luckily get that middle gen done and then split it up a little bit more. But it's going to be, I think you guys are going to be settled in for a little while here. So I mean,
just a bit.
Hopefully, yeah, just a little bit. Hopefully you guys have got no spare time, or have got a lot of spare time, I should say.
Indeed. So one thing I noticed that was unfortunate about it, I was looking at earlier, Lori dropped a pallet in the middle of this map, and I think they should have just taken the hit and run back. You only have so many precious resources on the side, and when you dive back further into the map, you're going to need those resources at your disposal. And I don't know.
Was it between the gens, or was it between the tiles in the middle?
It was between two rocks. It was a small little filler tile, if you will.
I mean, if you can greed hits and get some early pressure on gens, I mean, that's a very valuable take to have. I mean, maybe they were just like, if this pallet breaking buys me an extra 5-10 seconds for my teammates to do some more progression on gens, maybe I'm just gonna throw it, kind of thing. But I mean, less hits is okay. The more healthier survivors you have, the better. So I can understand the concern. But these guys are gonna, I think they're gonna do well. I know this. I know this team. I know of some of the players in this team, and they're very good players. So I feel comfortable knowing that they're gonna make some good calls here. But of course, like, it's just a very rough setup. This is a very rough setup for our survivors to face. And
indeed,
you know, it's super unfortunate, but it's just the way this game is meant to go. Is just utilizing Skull Merchant's ability to hold down these spaces and apply pressure by just not going anywhere. And it's not the killer's fault, and that's the problem. This is what a lot of people are, you know, probably going to get frustrated with this sort of competitive setting.
Yeah, they finished the 11 o'clock gen. That's what I was saying.
They did get it done, but now they've still got this 3 gen here.
Yeah, this 3 gen is gonna be brutal.
It's too close. If they had got one of these 3 gens done, I mean, maybe it would have been put them in a better spot, so that 11 o'clock gen was left and they had to walk further distance. But like, the Skull Merchant wouldn't have been too stressed about the 11 o'clock gen. They're just, and this is what people have to understand, is that we're not going to be sitting here and getting frustrated at the killer in chat. This is just the best way to play the Skull Merchant, and that's her design. This is the most efficient way, is to very slowly burn out and hopefully catch some people off guard with her undetectable status effect, and just slowly wear the survivors down. That's the most efficient way to play her. So if you hear us or hear anyone talking about, you know, oh, the Skull Merchant's playstyle, it's nothing against the killer, the person themselves. This is just the most efficient way. This is it. Like that.
You wait for the server to time out. I mean, what?
Yeah. Like, if you got handed a hammer to use at work, would you use the side of the hammer to hit an alien, or would you use the head of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, you want to use it most efficiently. This is the most efficient way to use Skull Merchant. And
indeed,
it's the way the cookie crumbles. So all we can do is see how survivors play this out, and see how they want to handle this whole situation. But regardless, I'm keen to see how this goes, because we've had 0 hook stages.
Yep.
I mean,
no hooks.
There's almost no gen progression. I mean, but like, who knows? Anything can happen. We've seen it happen before.
Absolutely. Well, we'll just have to see. Again, it seems like the rotation between the 3 generators takes about 20 to 25 seconds to fully rotate, and again, they're cycling through their drones. They did get rid of a drone on this side in the basement, and so they will have to reset this one. I wouldn't be surprised if you set up a survivor down here that hangs out in the far corner of that basement now and just resets and gets that drone. Resets, gets that drone, and forces the killer to go down and check basement.
Yeah, if they really wanted to keep on setting it down there, I mean, it would take a bit of time and take a bit of the killer's time away from that gen. But again, like, this is just all within stone's throw of each other. All they have to do is walk around a little hill here and just as someone who plays a lot of Survivor, I'm frustrated for these guys. Like, I'm just frustrated.
Absolutely. I would be very frustrated because, and you even hit it on a little bit. Like, I would say there's a lot of things that people say that what they like about DBD. I think the thing that makes DBD the best game in its category for the most part is because it is replayable due to the sheer volume of RNG with map layouts and everything else. The variance, every game feels different. But unfortunately, this is, like you said, this is the far edge of what variance looks like, and this is not what you want to see generally, but unfortunately, this is how it spawned, and arguably one of the grossest 3 gens. Yeah.
Every Skull Merchant main right now is just, if they're watching this, they're rubbing their hands together and they're drooling at the fact that this is a 3 gen that's happened. Like, typically these 3 gens can spawn in. They are, I wouldn't say they're a rarity, but they definitely do occur quite often. And I think this is something that I've seen this a fair few times, especially on this map.
Fair.
Like the auto havens, it's happened quite a fair few times. I do believe this is not only just, a problem in general, but a problem that behavior kind of needs to address. But we do have someone exposed here. At some point, you have to quite think that, these survivors are just going to get exposed and try work on gens rather than taking down drones. I mean, what's the harm? You have someone body block that isn't exposed and just split that pressure up a little bit, maybe.
So I guess what is also on the survivor side here is maybe playing devil's advocate a bit with this, but I don't know what the outcome is if the game ends with the survivors. Like, I don't think we've had a scenario like that before.
No, well, this is actually a very important conversation to have, because at 60 minutes in public matches, the servers do time out. Have we got a confirmation in custom games if that is the exact same situation? Who knows?
Oh, no,
you
he's
would
exposed.
think that it is. Oh no, they're gonna take that hit. Oh no, they got around them.
They're not gonna get it.
Oh no.
And that is eruptions on the gens.
That's a hook stage.
Wow.
Gonna have a hook right here, or they're gonna go right in the center. This is so smart by the killer to drop them right here in the center.
So what I will say is, for the survivors, it's not going to be very difficult to get the survivor, because here's the thing. Skull Merchant doesn't care 2 ways about if you come and unhook that survivor. They're just going to use the pressure. There it is. There's the unhook right there. Both these players are going to run to the opposite side of the map. I imagine that might even be the deli player, potentially.
You would more than likely think that this is going to be the Deliverance player. The problem is, if our Jake takes his hit here, you'd think borrowed time might be over.
Yep.
And there it is.
But it could be DS. It could be Dead Hard. Like, DS Dead Hard player is pretty common, honestly.
Yep. And I mean, they've removed the drone over here, so maybe you'll see some gen progression. Not much at all. Which is
there's the pickup. That might be.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think they move the boon further up into mid so they can reset faster?
You would hope that that is the case. You would think that is what they're doing. But I mean, just some gen progression here. But regarding like, oh no, that's good. They need to utilize that blast mine and get some pressure brought on. But they'll adjust. Like, it takes a while to get in the rhythm and the groove of these things. And I mean, if you've got a really good team, which this team is, maybe the coordination and communication between these guys, they'll get some pressure and just kind of drag the Skull Merchant away from these gens, and hopefully, I mean, there's your boon right there.
Boon is in, like, on the side of the 3 gen, just a hop skip away from it. That is hilariously bold.
I mean, if they can buy time, like if our Skull Merchant gets a little overexcited, they could buy time with their blast mine. They could buy time with the boon. They could buy time with whatever it is to slowly chip at these gens. Like, she doesn't have a vision on that one behind. As long as they don't get exposed, or if they have someone exposed and taking hits, they could just slowly chip at this gen right there. I think that is going to be the gen that they should be targeting, not this one in the corner. It seems to be in a bit of a bad position here. Whereas with main, she doesn't have vision. She'll obviously get killer instinct if someone is exposed. And I think that's what they're going to be doing, is they're going to be chipping at this one while distracting on the far side here. And they're just going to be trying to slowly, there's probably someone already back on that gen right now.
It's very, very possible. And yeah, they disabled the drone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how you... The one thing I will say, survivors will notice this. We haven't called it out yet. It's not overcharge. They haven't had skill checks. So that might be the one saving grace for these survivors, is knowing that you don't have to worry about that difficult skill check every time you come back to the gen.
Which I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that they haven't gone with overcharge in this build, considering.
True. Is a fair point. We do know about eruption.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this is very exciting gameplay. We're gonna you know, we're gonna get a result soon enough. I feel it.
That is the dream and the hope, and we see survivors. She's gonna get exposed again. Might have been a missed call out.
That's so unlucky. That is that undetectable status coming in right there, dude. That is so unfortunate. This is not what they wanted.
Yeah, I think this is even second hook for the knee in particular. I think that might have just been a missed call out. Like you said, the undetectable coming in clutch there.
Yeah.
No, it's second or first hook. And also, we do see a notification from this gen, so it is Colubrine. So you have Colubrine, you have Sloppy Butcher, you have Eruption, and a fourth part that we really haven't seen much from.
Yeah, I'm actually questioning whether... No gen progression on that one, but they're straight back on that gen behind me here, which is interesting to see.
But there's so little progress left, and again, every time a survivor goes down, that's another 8%. No, is it 10% with eruption?
10. I think it's 10, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 10. 8 is jolt. Yeah, 8 is jolt. 10 is yeah.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is checkmate, because this is going to be, I think we're kind of just going to be settling in for rinse and repeat right now.
Just a little bit, yeah.
This is the most exciting game of chess I've quite seen in some time.
I will say, as someone who enjoys chess, I don't know if I fully agree, but I am constantly seeing it when the survivors do make good increments, but they're here and there. But the problem is every time the survivors make an increment, the killer doubles down on that area, pushes them away, and just forces it to be negated. Just completely undoes it.
Yeah, exactly right. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, again, we're going back to that conversation of just seeing our Skull Merchant utilize her utilities well. Like that's the thing. This is the most, no matter what anyone says, this is the most efficient way to play the Skull Merchant. And
yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, we kind of just have to settle in and enjoy the ride, I guess.
Yeah, it's it's like a wild bull ride. You're just trying to hold on as long as you can. They're trying to kick you off, trying to push you away from these gens. You just got to hold on to the gens as tight as you can.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see. There was some scratch marks in the corner there. Is it not someone over in the corner that our killer might have missed?
I think Jake was running away, but oh, there is a survivor on top of the hill. It is the Jake making it back away, and you're right. There actually is a survivor in that corner, but I don't think they're concerned about it. They're going back to the center gen, but we saw this gen at 2 pistons at one point, and since then, just nothing.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but I mean, kudos to our killer for playing efficiently.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna, I'm super interested to see if we are gonna have a
timeout.
A timeout. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna be the case. This is a very smart play to come around the backside because she is tunnel. She's not tunnel. Sorry, she's traversed around the backside of this main building here every single time. That's the first time she's come around the front to try catch the exposed person out. So I mean, this is going to keep the survivors on their toes even more. This is exciting gameplay in its finest form. You guys will only catch it here on Champions of the Fog.
There's
we
3
do have
pistons
someone
going.
exposed. They're sitting on it. They're sitting on this.
And Claudette's back there. They know that they can't leave this one because this gen is... I think they're making their play here.
They're digging in. They're digging in. You guys are going to see some motors pumping. Maybe like 1 or 2 pistons, but
That's 2. That is
Here we
and
go.
a blast mine.
And the blast mine.
They're getting there. Again, that gen back there had 3 pistons firing. We see scratch marks back there. They are back there again. And I think the worst one for the survivors was she had 4 claw traps on the survivors, which I think she was moving a total of 7% faster at one point. Which that's speedy.
But they're getting some gen pressure here. They've got some pistons absolutely pumping. She's coming back around the front side here. Does she catch someone off guard?
A little bit.
Oh wait, I think she catches them here. She definitely catches up unless they get the window.
They didn't go for the window.
The bait. Oh well, I mean, our killer committed to the window vault trying to get that down. They were really going for it. But we've got some. This is exciting because we've actually got gen pressure out of nowhere.
Absolutely. And this gen has a lot of pressure too.
That's what I'm saying. They got this one. They got the one behind main. As long as they don't have someone go down, they're looking not bad. They're not looking too shabby. They're actually getting pressure on here. If they can utilize their blast mine a little bit more.
There's the blind and the power
there's
stun.
some blinds. There's been a bit more time. And again, a 3rd blind.
Shane blind's coming in. And there is a survivor over there. It's the Claudette. This Claudette cannot quit this gen. I love it.
This is a good call out here for her to leave while she's exposed right there. That is so good for the Claw to get out of there. We've got some motors pumping right here. Got some pistons rolling. I think they're just gonna dig in. I think these guys have just said, screw it, we have to do this. We've just got to stick it out and get these gens like going, because what else can you do? Do you want to rely on the server to crash, or do you want to try and get these gens pumped?
I would completely agree, and we're seeing a replay of last time. Lori's gonna take a hit and get away. Now I think we can call it out. That is a fast recovery from the hit, so that is save the best for last.
Very quick. This you would think that the Jake will get that call out and start trying to take some hits here, because these motors are pumping. Is that 3 pistons going?
Yeah, both these gens have had 3 pistons going now.
Oh my gosh. You guys, I thought this was going to go for quite some time, but I mean, that one's gone. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're moving.
Survivors.
We're absolutely moving.
Survivors
I'm
are making
so
work.
excited.
And now 2 survivors exposed. Nia running back from way. Claudette's still waiting out their exposure before coming back in. I'm wondering if they have a deli set up finally, which gives them a little bit more leeway.
Oh, good play by the Nia here. I think she gets caught here though. That's not good.
And
the
that's
gen regression from eruption kicks in.
Heading straight
I feel like you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Jake turns, gets the call out for Stabiffle and turns into like the body blocker from. Oh no! Turns into the body blocker for the rest of the team. So the Laurie's been the one tanking the hits at the moment, but I won't be surprised if Laurie and Jake rotate positions here.
It's very possible.
We also
do see the pickup on the Nia though, and this server's gonna get the stun.
That's a good stun. That's a really good stun.
It really is.
She's gonna create. Will the Skull Merchant greed for eruption? No, she's creating distance. This is a really good play. They've already got the Nia back up.
Yeah, Nia's reset. There's the claw trap. Survivors are making some plays here. I did not expect to see this actually turn out. And that
she also
doesn't work too.
She doesn't have a drone over near behind main too, so she's got some catching up to do.
You're right. She has to reset her entire structure. Her web has to be reset.
She's looking too long here. I mean, that gen was very far, like very far. The only thing that's saving it right now is probably eruption.
Eruption's not even applied. This is 3 full pistons going. This is almost at 4th piston. And
the blast mine. It's a slow burn, but they can do this.
They definitely can.
They can actually do this. That's almost a 4th piston pumping.
Ooh, trying to get a call out here. Survivors being very cautious. Again, there's the call out Brian notification.
As soon as this is happening, someone should be back on that gen behind main. Someone should be right there right now while this is going on.
But Nia is injured. They didn't reset her, so she's going to need to take a body block. Yeah, we see Claudette getting exposed now. While this chase is happening, there's the line to get away. They need to commit. They're committing to this. Oh my god. They can't commit to this. They're going to lose the gen.
And our Jake is also body blocking now as we called out. Oh.
And they missed it.
Oh my god. No. Let's go.
They actually got it. They finished it.
It's done.
Survivors have pulled out the tightest 3 gen on ARP that I have seen.
actually insane. And the fact that Jake went into body block for the Nia prolonged that eruption value.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I feel like our killer was trying to go for. They were like, I can get this eruption, I can reset, I can go back, I can get some gen regression. But instead, our Jake pushed in front, slowed the game down a little bit, enough for them to get that last gen done. Now, do they leave? You would assume that they're going to leave.
Get out of dodge. Take your points and go. Like,
otherwise,
this is
you're just going to end up trading against us to biffle Skull Merchant.
It was 8 stacks, too. They had 8 full stacks by the end of the game.
I have so much chemicals running through my body right now that this is the result. How do I feel? Emotions-wise, I don't know. But well done. Holy sh...
Like, I'm not...
Oh my god, dude.
I'm not trying to be biased here, but, like, part of me at the end was like, I just can't believe they pulled it out.
I'm so excited.
I could not be happier.
My lord. I cannot wait.
Singularity.
Got ourselves a Larry on our hands, dude. This is going to be the best way. The best way, dude. We're going to be so aggressive. I can feel it.
This is a blessing. LAGr, thank you so much for bringing Singularity. I didn't know if I would ever see this killer in a competitive environment, but you brought them to ARP, and I am excited to see how this turns out.
Well, considering that Larry hasn't been out for the longest time compared to the rest of the killers, it's actually a very interesting pick. But I mean, Singularity can be very aggressive in chase, and depending on how well, you know, Hux is played, we might burn through some very, very, very early resources. Some resources very early here, and might have some interesting, very interesting end game sort of interactions. So, quite excited to see how our killer handles Hux, considering, you know, he's only been out for some short time.
It's a good point.
We have spent a lot of time with this tile though. Like, this tile it's a 4-laner, but we've got our first slipstream of the game. Here we go.
Gonna see if it's gonna pay off, and they do hit through it. They do break the pallet.
That was so close.
Was really close.
Yeah, you tell them, Hux.
But I say, using their power wheeler, I'm liking the micromanagement flicking, trying to, you know, switch around. We do see Corrupt on this gen. There's Deadlock firing off on the middle gen as well as the first gen finishes.
Oh, good call. Good see on the Nia here.
Absolutely.
Now, does he get his... What are these actually called?
Biopods.
The biopods. Does he get a biopod?
Yeah, you do, and I think this might result in a hit.
He'll teleport, insta-slip. No, he fakes it?
Yeah, that's
actually
a good fake.
It.
I love that fake, and they get hit through this window, too.
Oh, that was so well played. So aggressive.
Such a good fake out, and that will be first hook coming in for the Nia.
Got some early pressure here. So I think they're just going to go balls to the wall and just get as much pressure as they can in multiple chases. But more than likely with the basement hooky, you would think they're going to try and confirm some stages here at least.
Absolutely.
We have Deadlock confirmed, so I mean, that'll buy some time as well. Let's see how our survivors deal with this tricky situation we have, because that's an early hook.
It is.
Another some ability. Oh,
no kick.
Deadlock absolutely blocking the kick.
And now I think
that's my
set up some zone. Wait, they got a survivor down there.
That's a very quick unhook. A very quick unhook. Now, do we commit to our Nia? No. Our Singularity is actually spreading the pressure.
Just a little bit. I mean, if you hook everybody and then try and get a confirmed kill, that is a win. Oh my! I love so these mind games.
No. Oh my gosh. He waited, so for anyone that might not have understood, if he teleports or slipstreams to the Ace while Ace is still inside the building, the Ace simply vaults outside the window and gains distance. But he was specifically waiting to see if he was going to vault outside to then slipstream to him, but instead waited for it perfectly to land his slipstream on the inside on the Ace, who got the quick down. That is so smart.
That really
was. That was so smart.
That was a fantastic play on the killer's part. Like you said, this killer's only been out for a little bit, but they're playing this killer very efficiently. The macro management, the micro management has all been good. And then you also see the mind games taking place, like you described, like faking out the survivor at the window. So survivors, even if they have a little bit of like understanding about this killer, it's all going to nothing because the killer's actually got the jukes. How many singulars do you know have this level of juke?
Yeah, well, that's right. I've gone against Dweebay and in many circumstances, and I'm always taught that I am inferior. So this is This is a very, very, very not surprising playstyle by how well he's actually doing so.
Absolutely.
Already got some pressure here and another slipstream. This is going to be an insta break. Bang, bang. You'll expect another slipstream as soon as he comes out of this overcharge or overpower, whatever this is called.
The overdrive, yep.
Overdrive, that's another break.
Wasting a lot of resources.
Well, that's the thing. Hux is so good at burning through these pallets.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not using your EMPs efficiently, you're in some trouble. But I mean, just this aggressiveness is just playing off dividends. It really, really is. So this is our third hook of the game already. Still got 2 gens. We've still got Deadlock. We haven't seen all of the perks at all. We've seen Deadlock and Corrupt.
Yep.
So
no sloppy,
might be
no Sabiffle.
Yeah. I mean,
or gen regression. No pain res, no pop, no anything really we've seen.
Haven't seen much, but these survivors have got this gen. This gen was just deadlocked and it was at no progress. And they've already got it probably, you know, a fifth of the way, third of the way. Big lithe play. Look at this. Create some distance. Does get a biopod put on. We're going to see a slipstream in a second, you would think, or are they just going to confirm the hit here? There it is. Doesn't get the pallet break with it, though.
I think they wanted just to try and push the survivor away. I think this is the only survivor they haven't hooked yet, potentially. And also, we heard a skill check failed or something. Yeah, something going on in the back over there. Not really sure what that is.
Oh, that was a hit.
That was
a hit. Slipstream straight in from the hit. Oh my god.
This is disgusting. And yeah, giving nodders.
He knows it. He knows.
Wait, does this survivor go second stage? They went second stage, and this is gonna be first hook for the Clutted. I think they secured the W here. I think this is the W.
That is game. Down to 1 gen, but that has to be game.
Wow. Just
unless I mean, if they got a 4 out, I mean,
4 out maybe that would be kills. I don't know math,
and I don't know the scoring, but oh my god.
My word. This killer is juicing right now with these attack. Oh, almost getting it, and they're gonna have to break the pallet here. This is gonna be so close.
That is actually wild.
Look at
and then another slipstream, but he should get the vault right.
Yeah, there's the Spear Anatomy.
Quick vaults by our single. Oh, the adrenaline.
Yeah, but there you see it in the distance. There is the no way out proccing, and we see the haste status effect. So that is a no-ed. This survivor's dead.
And there it is.
Survivor is death hook. They did go to second stage. And with this kill, I think that confirms it, because that is at least 1K, but it's 6 stage 1K instead of 4 stage. Or 5 stage, whatever it was.
Oh, we still got some time here. No Ed. We could probably get another down.
Very true.
He's got a lot of biopods over there. If he you know, puts Hux into sleep and can get someone with a biopod and then just travel over there, would save some time, but he's just going to commit with the no-ed and come straight over here and try. Oh, they've been EMP'd. Well, there you go.
That makes sense. Survivors have had time to definitely use the EMPs. They're still charging over here, so you reset these pods. Both the exit gates are over here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't jump on that no-ed. I mean, maybe they were trying to, but didn't have enough time. That's another down.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. This has been a very, very interesting playstyle, but well done by these survivors. You're getting all the gens done, considering how much pressure, you know, Singularity had.
True.
And combating Deadlock and Corrupt at the start. These guys did a great job getting all these gens done.
They really did.
Considering how well this killer played, like, big kudos to them. They did absolutely fantastic. Like, so much aggressiveness and so much pressure put on.
Absolutely.
With a little bit of slowdown with, you know, the builds. But, you know, these guys did absolutely outstanding getting this amount of pressure put on.
They really
isn't too worried about no-ed at this point. You'd think he's just probably just going to get the down and get another hook stage. And
yep. I think the survivors were additional 2 stages here, potentially, if you camp them out. And there's the exit gate being opened. And I imagine we're just going to see the survivors exit the game here. And yep, there's the 2 out. There is going to be the 9-stage 2K. And again, I'm just really happy to see Singularity, because this is one of my favorite killers that has come out in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, considering, you know, things in the past, he's definitely a very interesting killer nonetheless. But the way, you know, Dweebe handled Singularity was nothing short of impressive. But these survivors, kudos to them for putting up such a fight and getting those gens done very efficiently too, by the way, because to get all those gens done, considering the amount of, you know, pressure we had and the amount of biopods everywhere.